Hey everyone, good Saturday morning, and that means it's a Shed Wars video. Excuse me. So we still have a few more plants to plant. You can see behind us, so let's head to the garden.
So on the right we have cantaloupe, and on the left we have a different variety of pumpkins. And this is the area where our 4 rows of potatoes were. So if you remember where that was, so there are those. And then we still got our jalapenos still growing strong here. Still have yellow and red bell peppers growing strong here. See, those haven't quite turned yet. And we have got into some succession planting with our tomatoes. And so that's an original one. And I don't remember the varieties now. And these are some of our original tomatoes, and I don't remember the varieties of those. But these are the vine ripe tomatoes from the grocery store. And you can see they are producing. So still do not know what kind of variety of tomatoes they are. Do not know whether they are determinate or indeterminate. But you can grow tomatoes from the grocery store. We ended up putting up some webbing today because, you know, we're into hurricane season here, and we've already had one named tropical storm and just a couple of wind events. So we put up the netting to help hold the tomatoes up. And so these are at least a month behind these right here. So, but these are right in dirt. And again, these are in potting soil and in peat moss mix and all that. So I'm just really getting to be a firm believer in raised beds where raised beds are applicable. And these tomatoes are the same tomatoes as them down there, except for we left these on the front porch about an extra 2 weeks. So even though they're the same age from the same tomato, there's obviously a difference in size because those were planted 2 weeks ahead of these right here. And we just planted these 3 right here. Again, these are vine ripe too. Again, same tomato. We've just left them on the front porch a lot longer, which means they've been root bound a lot longer. So their growth is stunted, but we didn't want to kill them, so we kept them planted. And then here is my bell pepper from the grocery store, except we mixed some tomatoes in with it today because we run out of room. So got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bell peppers from the grocery store, and a little bit of squash mixed amongst the weeds. Now, I didn't join Shed Wars last year because, one, I just didn't have confidence in myself, didn't have the time, and honestly, hindsight being 2020, I probably should not have joined it this year, because there is a row of zucchini to the right and a row of squash to the left. And while you don't think they're producing, they actually are. We have to pick these every other day. Now, we're not getting the yield that we would if it weren't for the weeds, but we are getting plenty for Jackie and I to eat, of course. And then here's our corn growing. Got a couple of bare spots right here in this row, but got all that is Silver King, Silver Queen, and Peaches and Cream, which is a bicolor corn. Oh, and the reason I'm saying that I shouldn't have joined Shed Wars is you have to be really prepared to do that. And obviously, with the amount of weeds, life has just dealt us a bad hand. And I won't say life has dealt us a bad hand, but it has dealt us a busy hand. And even without a job, I've still had things to do. Besides looking for a job, I've had other things to do. And, you know, it's planting season for John and Jim, so been helping some with that. But gardening takes a lot of work. So here's my tip. Gardening takes a lot of work, and sometimes it's intense work. And you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared for weeding. You need to be prepared for having water. You need to be prepared for what happens if you don't have water. You need to think about what you're planting and what you're planting next to what you're planting, or what you're going to plant, you know, how are you going to do succession planting? You know, how's your weather work? Ours, we have been brutal. You've heard me say we've been like the Sahara Desert, and we have. You know, now we've had off and on rain, and it has been great. It's helped us with our water situation here and on the farm for the real crops, which, you know, across the road, that is peanuts. So y'all will get to see those peanuts coming up soon. Time is a real thing, and I'm not talking thyme the herb. I'm talking thyme, T-I-M-E. Time is something you really have to account for with gardening. If you don't have the time, don't do the garden. Now, just like that row of zucchini and squash you seen with all the weeds, believe it or not, there is 2 rows of okra in here. And today is our first day of harvesting okra. And I will show you that harvest somewhere towards the end of this video. So we are getting okra, and at the far end is our row of cucumbers. And we are getting cucumbers out of there. So again, you know, it's a battle with the weeds. Things just have not worked out for me. And then, of course, this here is the peanut field on the other side of it. And if you watch, the deer tracks are coming in and out of the peanut field, heading in and out of the garden here. The deer are headed to the corn, so we're fixing to have to do something to shoo the deer away. And that there, ladies and gentlemen, is our first okra harvest for, well, I was going to say for 2021, but it's actually our first okra harvest period. Okay, over time I have showed you what we've been growing and showed you some of the harvest. I've showed you some of the weight of the vegetables we've been picking, but what have we been doing with them? So here today, Jackie and I are having lunch. So I have 2 hot dogs. The one right here is zucchini relish that we made from zucchini. And it has, excuse me, what all does it have in it besides zucchini?
Peppers and vinegar and mustard seed and some celery seed.
Okay, and then the back one is golden sweet pickle relish. And if you remember last year, we made pear relish and I loved it. So this year we're branching out and made sweet pickle relish and zucchini relish. So the, excuse me, one of the allergies is tough. The golden sweet pickle relish, obviously it has pickles, green peppers, and what else?
Mustard seed.
Mustard seed. And then just over here is 2 different styles of pickles that we have put up this year. Dill pickle and a bread and butter pickle. So I'm not going to let you watch us eat because I might make a mess and have to change shirts. But I'll bring you back and tell you how this stuff tasted. Okay, I'm back and got some remnants here on the plate. And to the right over here is the zucchini relish. And I like the texture of it. But as far as taste, I really couldn't taste it. But then again, mine and Jackie's allergies, we have been sick for weeks, so it could be with my taste buds, but I really like the texture of it, but couldn't taste a whole lot, so it needs something else added to it. And I was really surprised because I don't really eat a lot of zucchini, so it did not taste bad at all. I just got to figure out what else we need to add to it. Now, as far as this golden sweet pickle relish, it was not sweet at all. It almost to me had a little bit too much pepper in it. So we need to tweak both of those recipes a little bit. And again, it's the first time we've ever did it, so we've used recipes out of books. So we need to tweak it to our taste. Now you can see the dill pickle spear is gone. It was great. I had 2 bread and butter pickles, and you can see one there because that thing is nasty. It tasted horrible. And the difference between the dill pickle spear and these here, or all these 2, and the dill pickle spear used regular vinegar. This had apple cider vinegar. So don't know if that's it, but the apple cider vinegar is the difference, and that did not taste good at all. So, but the whole point of this was just showing you some of the stuff we do with our harvest.
One last thing before we close is this is a golden cherry type tomato, and I'll look up the correct name and plug it in right here. But what's interesting is there's 9 tomatoes growing right here off this one limb, and then over here off of another limb, let me pull this out of the way, is we're going to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, anywhere from 9 to 10 growing off that one. So that's the first time we've ever had that happen.
So I know I said earlier this was Saturday and it's a Shed Wars video and all that, but time I have finished this video, it's no longer Saturday. So, but in any case, I hope you like what you saw. Well, give us a thumbs up. If you're viewing this video and you're not a subscriber, I hope that you would consider hitting that subscribe button and watching our future videos. And to be notified of the future videos, hope you'll ring that bell so that you'll know. But whether or not, I hope y'all have a blessed day for whatever day you're watching this. And hope you have a blessed week as well. Until the next video, y'all take care and God bless.